What is up, YouTube? So I have a new surprise and a new addition. Not this truck frame of the 69 that I've done a terrible job at making videos of, or the fact that the Mustang is no longer with us. The Talon is over there. It's peeking a little bit over there, but without further ado, let me introduce you to my new member of the family. As you can see, that massive outboard. This is my 2026 Tracker Targa Tournament Edition Combo V19. We're going to touch on why I got the leftover Targa instead of a 2027 model year. We'll touch on that here in a little bit, or maybe I'll do it now, but here's a general look of this thing. And I might do a couple videos or lump this all into one video, I'm unsure. But let me do a walk around of this awesome boat. It has a Pro XS 200 on it, Merc. You can fit this with a 225. The Tournament Edition does come with the Pro XS 200. But we'll just do a quick walk around of this. And then we'll go over a few things. So that's pretty much your walk around. So I'm going to quick touch on why I got the 2026, and we'll do a walkthrough of this. So as you can see, that is your Humminbird Explorer 9. Okay, you get one at the console, one at the bow that comes with the Tournament Edition. You also get this Targa Minn Kota trolling motor. It comes with a pedal and a remote, and it comes factory linked to your fish finders, your Humminbird fish finders, so you can control this from your fish finders, from the remote, or from the foot pedal. What they did is in 2027, because I wasn't going to buy this until 2027, is you no longer get the Humminbird Explorers or the Targa. You get the cheaper Lowrance fish finders and the cheaper Minn Kota. So they did that to keep the price point the same. One of the reasons I wanted to get this boat is it already came with the trolling motor I wanted, with spot lock, the GPS, the autopilot, the current drift. Comes with side imaging and down imaging, your 2D sonar, and GPS already preloaded and mapping, all on the console fish finder. And then on the bow you get down imaging and 2D and mapping on there as well. And that comes when you get the Tournament Edition. And it had everything I want. My old boat, there's a few videos on YouTube, did not have spot lock, had smaller fish finders. It was an older boat. Couldn't really do what we were doing with striper fishing anymore. So I wanted the Tournament Edition. When I went to go look, I wanted the 27 model, and I was going to get it at the end of the boating season. My old boat was having some issues, so we wanted to get a new boat. The 2027s, like I said, don't come with the fish finder and come with the shitty trolling motor. So you would have had to spend, those fish finders are roughly $2,500 a pop. That's $5,000. I don't know, $3,000, $3,500 for the Targa, plus rigging it, networking it. You're at, by the time you're done, $10 plus $1,000. So they kept the price point the same. That's why they don't put it on there anymore. But if you're fishing and you're a hardcore fisherman, you want good electronics and spot lock. Who doesn't want spot lock? So even though the price point was the same, you weren't getting the same bang for your buck. You'd have to increase it. So I got $5,000 off of this, taxes, tags, and fees, and out the door it was $63,000. So you would be in the $70,000+ range if you decided to outfit it with a Explorer 9 or a larger graph, a 10 or 12-inch graph, and the trolling motor. So I felt that we just decided to buy it early. And that's what we ended up doing. So that's why I got the 2026 Tournament Edition versus the 2027. I really wanted the red. The Heritage Red, I believe, is what the paint scheme is on it. They only had the black because we're pretty much at the end of the 2026 model year. The 27 should be out, or they're already rolling out it very soon. But my truck's black. This matches, and it had the things I wanted on it. So that gives the general reason on why I got it. So now let's begin the walkthrough. Just in case you're looking for 2027, expect not to get the awesome hummingbirds and the trolling motor with it. So I didn't do many add-ons. Like I said, it came with everything I wanted, and we'll do a general walkthrough of the boat. I did add the boat buckles, which are wonderful because the factory boat tie downs are not very good from Tracker in general. And I was ceramic coating it, so I need to put that guy back on. They're very easy to use. And that's pretty much all I did for the trailer. You got your tandem axle trailer. Now, I do want to touch on this because I know this isn't always touched on in a lot of things. So this package height is 7 foot. It's also 8 foot 6 inches with the width of the boat. Now, if you look at the Pro Guide, which is a smaller boat, 17 foot 8 inches. We looked at that as a budget boat as well. It's deep V hull, not as big as a Targa. Now, the front fishing deck is wider in the Pro Guide because the gunnels are not as wide as these gunnels here. So you do have that. You don't have as much storage on the Pro Guide as you do on the Targa, but the package height is over 7 foot, which didn't make sense because the Targa is the biggest boat in their lineup, the 19. So what I found out after talking to salesmen is the rims are bigger on the Pro Guide. So that's what puts it over 7 foot tall. So when I was doing research on this, I didn't know if this was going to fit my garage door. On all the forums, you only saw one thing where it would fit, and then other people said it wouldn't. I can tell you this fits. This is a 7 foot tall garage door, 9 foot wide. It is very, very tight, number one. Because of my garage door opener, it will clear the windshield, but you can't open the windshield once it's in. So I will open the windshield before I put it in, and you have to trim the motor a bunch of different ways to clear that garage door and clear that garage door opener while making sure the skid does not drag on the concrete there at the bottom. So it is doable. It does take some finagling, but I wanted to touch on that in case you have a standard garage door. It will fit. It is very tight. You got 2 inches of clearance on either side of your garage door if you have a 9 foot wide garage door by 7 foot tall. So it will work if you have a standard garage door. So I did want to touch on that. So back to the walkthrough. So that's why the package height is 7 foot tall, because the rims are smaller on the Targa. Other than that, you get a standard trailer, you get a standard spare tire, you get the come along system here to winch your boat up, or winch system, whatever you want to call it. You do have the swing away tongue. I have a 25 foot deep garage. This does fit fine. The actual length of the boat itself is 19 foot 8 inches. You do have surge brakes, hydraulic surge brakes. And the other thing I loved about this is you have bow steps to get up in the boat. It also comes with an onboard charger. This will charge your trolling motor and your starter battery. It's a 3-bank charger. And that's pretty much it. I will say a few things. I've owned a fiberglass boat for my entire boating career. My dad has a Tracker 17 Pro Team. It's basically the bass boat version. His does not handle at slow speeds because it doesn't have the chines or the pad on the back like a fiberglass does. Now, what this does is this has a pretty decent pad on the back, and then that's your drain plug as well. It's very confusing. People have thought that was your drain plug, but your drain plug is all the way down. This handle's all right. My only complaint is going on the trailer. I don't know how to explain it. It goes on, but it never, like on my fiberglass boat, you could get it straight and it would usually immediately settle in before it even got up to the winch. This one takes a little bit longer to settle in. At low speeds, it does not handle like a glass boat, but it handles better than my dad. So I was very impressed with the overall handling of this. So that's pretty much the walkthrough of the outside. We're going to touch a little bit on the Merc Pro XS. If you've never had a Mercury Pro XS, or you're coming from an older boat, this motor is incredible. You have to do a 10-hour break-in and be very patient because you want to open it up. Everyone knows what they sound like when they start up. This thing, the torque that it generates to move this large boat is insane. It is up on pad in 1.52 seconds. It's very impressive. Now, I am probably going to reprop this next year. I never even looked at what the factory pitch is, so I'm not going to make it up. I would assume due to the size of the boat, it's probably a 20 pitch prop. I don't know if it's on here. I'm sorry. It's a 16 pitch prop. So with that being said, I think this thing is underpitched, to be honest. The operating range, top speed for this is 58 to 6200. When I'm trimming it, I get to 6200 and there's still more trim left. Because these will tend to porpoise when you over trim them, and I didn't get to that. So I don't like running it at 6200 RPMs for extended period of time after the break-in period. So I do think I'm gonna pitch the prop up a little bit. I'm gonna talk to my dealer and see if we can get like a 19 or 20 pitch prop, just to see. 50 mile an hour is what I get out of this, fully loaded with gear, and my wife in it with me. All in all, it goes really good for what it is. Super impressed with this. You do have the C-Star power steering on this as well, or hydraulic steer, hydraulic assist, whatever you want to call it. So the Pro XS is an impressive motor. Very, very impressive. The power that this has out of the hole. If you're watching this and you've never had a Pro XS, it's pretty awesome. It's also, the throttle's electronic, so the throttle's very touchy on this as well. So now we're gonna get in the boat and we're gonna do a walkthrough of the said boat. Okay, we're going to start from the back. So this compartment here, well, you have a courtesy light on each side. You have your nav light in the back, or your anchor light. You have a cleat there, a mid cleat there, and a cleat up on that side. They flip up and they flip down. This compartment is your battery compartment for your crank battery, and then you have your disconnect there as well. This compartment is a storage compartment. There's a bin that pulls out that gets you down towards the bilge area. Just have towels and stuff in there to wipe the boat down when we're done, and other things. Like I said, that's a big old spider that just goes down to the bilge area. Don't mind me. I'm gonna get that spider out. Sorry about that. We'll just let him live in there. So you have your jump seats. These flip up. So this will seat 6. That one will also flip up, and it comes with 2 tracker pedestal seats here and here. So you can run 5 very comfortably, because you can put it in the center and have your 2 people ride in the jump seats. This flips up and more storage, so my toolkit's down there, my 2 toolboxes and some of the stuff for that. The other nice thing that this comes with is the light at live well. I don't know how many gallons. It does come with a plug that's in there now. There is a light in this at night. You can leave that pushed in and it'll pull from the outside of the boat and the water from the lake in. When you're moving at high rates of speed, you want to pull this out. Hang on, I gotta think. No, that pulled in, that pushed in, you can aerate. So you can put it on the aerate setting and it won't pull from the boat, it'll pull from that screen and aerate the water that way. It also has a pump out. You pull that red plug out and it'll pump out the side of the boat. I believe it's that side. And you can pump the live well at least all the way down to halfway to the screen, and then you'd have to open the drain up to get it the rest of the way. So that is your rear live well. And not everything's lockable. That's lockable. That's lockable. Same thing. Jump seat. This one also flips up for tackle storage or whatever you want. And again, these are the woven floors. They're very nice. They're easy to clean. There's a little bit of carpet still in the boat, but I wanted the woven floors for cleaning purposes. You don't get like the cushion you get with carpet, but it's just easy to clean, and I like the way it looks. This is another storage compartment. That's my ropes. That black cover is a snap, because we're going to touch on that. That snaps in here, and that isolates the in between where the windshield closes to the bottom of the boat. And that's because I have this targa top that clips in here for traveling. I have it down when we go fishing, so she can fish off the back deck and flip up the seats that she needs, because that'll sit back pretty much where your pedestal seat goes. When we're traveling on the water, you can keep it down like this. When I tow, I hook it in here and it stows towards the back. When you put it up, the front one goes here to the second one, you lift it up and then hook it into the last one, and it opens. There's a clear plastic see-through windscreen, and that will snap to these and pretty much enclose you from the weather. And then, like I said, that other cloth piece snaps there and there. So that is your bimini top. We went over the posts for the pedestal seats, or not pedestal seats, the seats that come with the boat. You have your gunnel storage. You can store rods in here. I think they're up to 9 feet. Don't quote me on that. This is one thing I really like. This comes with rod tubes, which I'm going to touch on the center rod locker. So that's that, and you have the same thing for rods. We just store other stuff in here for this, but you also rod tubes in here. You can store 3 rods. You could probably store more than 3 rods in here with rod socks, which I do run. So those are your gunnels. That is also lockable. This is also lockable. Your paddles in here, your nav lights, your anchor lights. We have our net in here, our fold-away net, and a tube for relaxing on the water. That is also lockable. Now, this is really weird. So this has a turn on it, right? But it doesn't have a latch on it. So that to me is weird, as you can see, and that just comes that way. So your trolling motor batteries are up there. It's 24 volts, so I have 2 of them. I have bumpers in here and life jackets. This also comes with a shock stabilizer, which keeps it open, so that's nice. Now, this I don't use because your electric's in here. So I really don't put anything in here at all. Your fuses are in there and a lot of your hookups. That's your networking for your hummingbird, so I don't want to put anything in there to disturb anything. Fire extinguishers there. This storage area I use for the trolling motor pedal when we're traveling. If I'm on the water, I stow it in that stowaway hole. You have 2 glove boxes. Here's your 1 glove box, both lockable. Here's your other. There's a trolling motor remote. This uses another key than the key for the rest of your locks. Don't ask me why. Just the way it is. Here's your passenger seat. You can unscrew this little screw here and it swivels around. Your driver's seat swivels, and you pull up on this, it'll swivel, and you can adjust it forward or backwards. And that's the only seat that adjusts forward or backwards. That is your throttle, your kill switch or lanyard. That, like I said, is an electronic throttle, so it took me some getting used to, coming from cable throttles. Now, we'll go to the business section. This is your reservoir for your power steering. You have your standard gauge, RPM, speedometer, battery voltage, and your water for your water pump. Trim, fuel. Now, I'm going to tell you I have close to 13 hours on this boat. Since I've owned this boat, nothing bad has happened except for one thing. 2 things, actually. The fuel gauge burned out. Not the fuel gauge, the sending unit burned out. The first day I had it out on the water for the break-in period. This has a 47-gallon tank on it. Now, I ran out of gas because I thought I had more gas than what I did because I didn't know the fuel consumption of this boat. You can get, which I also got on this, on the Mercury, it's a Smart Craft. It hooks to the back of your motor underneath the shroud, and you can get the app, and it can measure and monitor your fuel, your hours, your engine RPM, whole shot, you know, the hours on the motor, so you know, like when you're past the break-in or how many hours are on it for maintenance. It is a great tool, and it's more accurate than your fuel gauge. So every time I fill up, I will add the fuel into the app, and it'll monitor the fuel way better than your fuel gauge does. It does this once it starts getting empty. So moving on. Tilt steering wheel. Do like the steering wheel. It's a nice steering wheel. You also have your Bluetooth radio. You have a speaker there, cup holder, speaker here, cup holder, and then your Humminbird Explorer 9, which is a great unit. And this is coming from a guy that used cheapies because of the way his boat was set up. It's super impressive. It is, the interface is very fast. It starts up very fast. It's touchscreen and analog. I like it. The lighting's very good. I don't need the fancy 12-inch one, but for what this is and coming with the boat, I do like it. Other thing I don't like, on the old trackers, they had a band that would hook your phone in, or a RAM mount. This, I'm telling you, the size of smartphones nowadays, I'm not trusting my phone sitting in here so it can fly out and go in the water, so I don't even use that for anything. You have a 12 volt here. There's a 12 volt in one of the glove boxes. There's a 12 volt under there, and there's a 12 volt up on the bow right there. You have a master power switch, which took me some time to stop forgetting to click that on. Your bilge, your manual, forward, aerate, auto, manual, aft, aerate, auto. You have your forward recirc, pump out, aft or front, and then you have your nav lights. Nav lights and your live well lights as well. Underneath here, you have a light. You can push it, the light comes on. It's actually a pretty bright light, believe it or not, for that little thing. And that's pretty much the console of the boat. The windshield's pretty good. Now, I'm gonna, as my guy on Ready Your Eyes say, zonk a few things. The fuel gauge burning out, you spend the amount of money you do, not really cool. That light up there, you have to fiddle with a little bit to get it to work. Brand new boat, you spend what you spend on it. I do understand this is a budget boat, but don't like it. And the screws for this windshield support, this one stripped out basically, and it came that way. I took it to the dealership to get the fuel gauge fixed. I forgot to say something, and to be honest with you, I don't feel like taking it back. I can say something next time it goes back. So that's a little disappointing. It is a budget boat, I get it, versus what you spend on another boat, but you're still spending a good amount of money on it, so you kind of want your stuff to work. But I'm going to touch on how I feel about the boat after I'm done with this walkthrough. This is also lockable. This has struts on it. This is your center rod locker. Here's my problem. There's no rod tubes. So if you don't use rod socks, your rods don't really go in there very nice. Rod socks, they do go in there very nice. So I did switch to rod socks, but coming from a boat with no rod lockers, I'll take it. Should probably put tubes in it, but rod tubes like the gunnels do, but this is nice. You could probably fit another, what do I have in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could probably fit 9 rods, maybe 10. I wouldn't, you're gonna start pushing it, but I mean, you could fit 10 rods in here and 4 in each gunnel, so that's 18 rods. I'm never gonna use that many rods in my life. I'm happy with what I got here, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna use. I might get one more rod at some point in time, but you do have the struts on here as well. And then we're gonna get into my other problem I have once we get up to the front. So up to the front of the boat, I got a pedestal seat for the front. Now, what I do like is on the earlier tracker models, if you ever watch the videos, these doors would always fly open. They put better magnets on them. So this opens up. And this is deeper, excuse me, deeper than what you think. I have 3 boxes in here. I don't know what size this is. I don't know box sizes, but you can fit 3 of the big boys in here. And that's the same thing on the other side. So you got storage here, which is nice. Here's my problem. My tackle's in here. This opens up. This doesn't really have any support. See when I let go of it? See what I'm saying? I'm not okay with that. Again, you spend this kind of money on the boat, you kind of want this to stay up. You're in here and boom, on your hand. So I'm gonna have to look into getting a shock for this and trying to put a shock in this, because this is not cool. So you do got nice storage space in here for your tackle. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is that does not have a strut on it. None of these do in the front. This is another tackle storage spot for me as well. A lot of my hand tools, spinner baits, things like that. And that's my other zonk I have on this boat. On the other tracker models, you get a tool holder up front here. You don't have it. So you're always going to find things that you don't like. So this is another one. I don't have anything here currently, but you can see how deep that is. That is nice. And like I said, they did upgrade the magnets on here so they don't fly open when you're going through the road. Again, this is another one. No shock. This is your front live well. Don't know how many gallons it is. You can also use this as a cooler if you wish. You can put the drain plug in it, take the drain plug out of it. It doesn't matter, but you can use this as a cooler. I don't know how long it would stay cold, probably for the whole day if you put enough ice in there, but that's my other thing. I don't like that this does not have a shock on it. And then here's your other small storage area. That's for my anchor. That one's not lockable. That one's not lockable. Only that one's lockable up front. You have your courtesy light here, your trolling motor plug-in, your auto forward live well here, and your motor up and down trim. You have a recess panel for your trolling motor and your 12 volt power supply, which I touched on. Your front mount for the front trolling motor, cup holder, your nav light goes right in here, your Minn Kota GPS puck, and your plug-in for your trolling motor pedal. The one thing I like about the Tarova is you can hit this test button when it's on and it'll tell you how much battery life you have. The deploy feature is nice. The only thing I don't like is there's no handle for this. You gotta like hold on to the pole or the head of the motor itself. It is a very quiet motor. I've enjoyed it very, very well. These wires, being out here like this, it is what it is. I've heard good things about Tarova, so I'm just going to go with everything's going to be fine. Here's the other thing I added that I was not okay with. This is a very long trolling motor. I don't know how many inches it is. Probably 60-inch shaft, if not more. Probably 60. I put this stabilizer on here because when you're running rough water or you're towing and going over wonderful, if you live in Pennsylvania, you know what I mean, wonderful Pennsylvania roads, this thing does this. Again, very expensive trolling motor. Don't want it doing this on that. So I just got this to help stabilize it. Now it doesn't go anywhere. That's the one thing I like about the VersaTrack. So that concludes the walkthrough of this boat. I don't think I missed anything besides the 5,000 cup holders that Tracker puts on here. So those are my few zonks. Okay, the sending unit going out, it happens. That light not working, whatever, I can fix that, not a big deal. The thing that really annoys me is no shocks on either of those sides, and when you open it, it wants to fall down in your hand. What are they, 10 bucks? If you mass order them like Tracker would, it'd probably be even cheaper than that to throw them on. So that part annoys me. This windshield part annoys me. Not a big deal. The bottom bolt's fine. You know what I mean? But I'm, not okay with that. You spend a large price point on these boats, you want them to be good. So, outside of that, this is what I'm going to say about this boat. That motor is amazing. It really, truly, truly is. To get this boat going 50 mile an hour, and if I change the pitch on the prop, it'll go probably 53, 54. That's pretty good. The ride on this boat, also very good. The seats are not bad. We're going to jump down out of here so I can finish this. Put my seats down. The seats of the boat are pretty comfortable. There is no bolster on them, and there's no grab handles for the passenger. So if you're in rough water, that's my other thing I wish they would put on here, grab handles. Looks like they also put this on so you don't run into your bow steps and destroy your boat. So here's what I like about the boat. It rides incredibly well. For an aluminum boat, it handles very well. That Mercury Pro XS is an amazing piece of equipment. It is a very roomy boat. That's the other thing. Plenty of room on the back casting deck. The cockpit space is amazing. The targa top is awesome. Tracker top is amazing. When you want to put these cushions in, if you're going out for relaxation, they snap into the bow. Right here, there's snaps. Right there, and on the other side. The front deck is bigger than my last one. Is this the biggest front deck? No. But the walk-through windshield's bigger than the boat I came from. The front deck's bigger than the boat I came from. I had a Cajun Fish and Ski 17-foot. When I would have, we do a lot of striper fishing. When I would hook a big striper and she'd have to come, why is my camera not focusing? Okay. All right then. When she would come up to help me net the striper, the windshield was very small and the fish finder stuck out. So that was always difficult. It wasn't as wide as this, and the front deck was even smaller than this. So it would be hard for me to wrestle striper, have her on the bow of the boat, so on and so forth. Now with spot lock, I can engage spot lock. I can either fight it at the front, or I can walk in the back here in this massive center deck area, and I can fight it back there, or go completely in the back of the boat, which is nice. Now, you can pay for a lot of stuff when you get this boat. You can get theft tags on it, which I'm trying to think of where they put it at. So when you buy a boat, Whitewater Marina or White River, whatever the heck they're called, will call you for all your add-ons. So, yeah, here's the theft protection. If someone steals it and they even remove it, you can still, there's still ways to track it. I'll just leave it at that. She likes having all the stuff. The thing that was a waste of money that I'm going to be honest with was the ceramic coating that they do at the dealer. I ceramic coated it myself afterwards. You can get battery replacements. Every time your battery wears out, you can take it in. You get ones of no charge up to $2,500. So pretty much for the life of the boat, essentially. If I blow a tire out, I'm covered. You can come out and replace the tire. And then we got the extended 7-year bow to stern warranty, which is also good. The only other thing I didn't touch on is a swing platform. This is also very nice. This ladder snaps down into place. You pull it out, take this little rubber cord off, it extends. I do like the swim platform and everything about it. So the combo just basically means it is a fishing / you want to put bow cushions on the front, go swimming off the back platform. You have the jump seats in the combo, so you can, you know, take 6 people with comfortably if you so choose to, or you can put the jump seats down and you have a nice casting deck. And like I said, we looked at the Pro Guide. The Pro Guide's casting deck was nice. The issue is where the seat went right here, the deck like disappeared. So if she would spin this way towards the front of the boat, her feet would be dangling down. The live well was bigger on it. The storage was not nearly as much as it is on Targa. And if you fish, you know, and I know that storage is super, super important. So all things considered, I like this boat. It is a budget boat. Is it going to have the fit and finish of a Lund or a Vexus or an Alumacraft? Be more of like a Lund in the aluminum lineup. Or a Vexus? No, it's not. But you're spending $20,000 more on a Vexus, at least, or even more on a Lund. So I'll deal with the loose windshield support. I'll deal with the sending unit, which was covered under warranty, no charge to me. So it was just more of a hassle of transporting the boat back to the dealer, everything like that. Now that I'm looking at the prop, because we learned this together on YouTube, I'm not a fan that this is only 16 pitch prop. It's probably why it gets out of the hole so good. Because on my 17-foot 88 Johnson, I ran a 17 pitch, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know why that is. Yeah, so that's about it. All in all, I do really like it. It's a nice trailer. The boat itself performs really, really good. It rides really, really good in rough water. And I got all the electronics that I wanted off of this. So all things considered, outside of the few zonks I had on the, will irritate me from now until I sell this thing, the lack of shock struts on these 2 compartments, especially that one, is annoying. Honestly, that annoys me more than the sending unit. And the faulty light, no big deal. The loose windshield mount, no big deal. You know, it is what it is. But the trailer's super nice. The boat's super nice. It rides really good. Motor performs really well. It's got plenty of space in it. It is comfortable. Trolling motor I really enjoy since I've been using it. It took me a little bit to get used to because I had the old school trolling motors with the cables. This is all electronic. The remote is also very nice. Spot lock, if you've never had it, is amazing because it just keeps you anchored in the same place. So if it's really windy out and she has a big striper on, I can hit spot lock, go to the back of the boat, help her with her fish, and I don't have to worry about blowing in the rocks. So all in all, this is an amazing boat. I would highly recommend it. The only unfortunate thing is with the tournament edition, you don't get the nice graphs, you don't get the nice trolling motor anymore. I think that's kind of crappy from Tracker to do that, but you know, with inflation, they're going to do everything they can to keep the price point where it's at. You just won't know unless you are educated that they don't put the hummingbirds on them anymore. They went back to the cheapy Lowrance. And again, you're buying the flagship boat, the most expensive boat that you can buy from Tracker, because I think this is even more expensive than the Savage. It is a lot of boat. 19 foot 8 inch deep V, a lot of boat and a lot of motor, because you can get the 225. So if you do get the 225, it's going to be more expensive than what I paid. I can't tell you what that price is going to be. You get a lot of boat, but it's their flagship. I don't know why they cheaped out and didn't put the Hummingbirds on and the fancy trolling motor. I mean, this is their flagship aluminum boat, so that part confuses me. So if you're looking for the Pro Guide or the Targa was worth the price, because you got the Hummingbirds and the trolling motor to outfit the Pro Guide 175. I think it's called the Pro Guide. Yeah, whatever. You could correct me if I'm wrong. When we priced them out for the 150 Merc Pro XS, and to get the Hummingbirds on it and the better trolling motor spot lock, we would have been at 50-ish thousand to get all that stuff in there, and the extra trolling motor battery and blah, 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 blah. So really, what was it, spending another 7,000 for a 2 foot bigger length boat and a lot wider? Because that one's 8 foot wide. This is 8 foot 6 inches wide. So you get a lot more boat with that. So this is, for all intents and purposes, pretty much a 20 foot boat. So the gunnels are really nice. That is the one feature I like. And these anti-slip pads, whatever you want to call them on here, also really nice. Getting on off the boat makes it super easy. So all in all, I do really, really love this boat. The few zonks I have is just because of what you pay for this boat. You know, they should have put the shock struts on the front compartments, just because you're spending what you're spending on here. And the loose windshield thing also, you know, the sending unit, I mean, stuff happens. I've been in the mechanical field for years. So that is the general walkthrough. I will do a further review on this. I'm not doing too much extra add-ons on this, honestly. It's pretty much everything I want for what I do, but I will do a review as I run this more and more and take you along for the ride. But this is our new addition here to the family of bad choices I made. It's the 2026 Tracker Targa V19 Combo Tournament Edition. So stay tuned. I'll make some more content on it. So till next time.